sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward sports merch today.
What up, though, Detroit? It's Wake Up Woodward.
Let's go.
I hope you guys have had as good a weekend as the Detroit Red Wings did. Shout out to Patty Kane, man.
Wow.
He said St. Patty's Day came a little early.
They did, about 3 weeks early, I'd say. What an epic game. We're going to talk so much about it. That Red Wings game, man, in Chicago. Woo!
That was amped. That was hype.
That
was hype, man.
This whole weekend, the Detroit Red Wings just are lifting up Detroit sports. I don't want to say just like the Lions did. It's a different version. This is Hockey Town. Taking to Chicago.
You're telling me Hockey Town is back?
Yep, I am.
I'm going to have to ask you that question a little bit later as well as the chat, man. Definitely. If you guys believe that Hockey Town is back, put that on there in the chats, man. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. Yo, those cards, I know we usually talk about this at the end, but they're fire, man.
Appreciate that.
They are fire. Chat, as always, you guys are the most important part of this show. Go on ahead and hit that like button to support the crew, as well as the phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. What up, though, KG? What up, though, JB? We got the legend, Mr. Terry Foster, in the building as well.
I see that Cast Tech sweatshirt on, a little crew neck.
It's, it starts today.
What starts today?
Boys state basketball tournament.
Come on.
Yep.
How's Cast?
Let's go.
Is Cast Tech?
Cast Tech won it last year. Will not win it this year, but could make the Final Four.
Gotcha. And they're in Division I basketball too, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
pal.
yeah. Who are the other teams that would compete or at the top of D1 this season?
Orchard Lake St. Mary.
Nah. Remember when Kalen Lucas was there?
Yeah, he was there. There's a lot of good players through there.
They have.
I don't know who else, but there's other fine ball clubs throughout the state.
And the Final Four ends up at the Breslin Center, right?
Right. And it starts early because, just in case, this has to do with Michigan State's women's team. If you get a top 16 seed in the women's NCAA tournament, you get to host the first two rounds.
Really?
Wow.
But a few years ago, Michigan State finished in the top 16 and couldn't host the first two rounds because the boys' state finals was that weekend.
Interesting.
So now they're starting it way early, so
Facts.
there won't be a conflict.
Uncle Terry's already teaching
conflict
facts.
of controversy.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm not teaching facts, I'm spitting facts.
Spitting facts.
Spitting facts.
Spitting
There's
facts.
no G on that.
I used to coach basketball, heading into my post-baseball life, coach high school basketball, but we never made it very far. It wasn't the most. We would play out of the Catholic League, this Division II in the Catholic League, so it was never got to face off against the Cats Techs of the world, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's. But good to know, T-Foss. Good to know.
Gotta make the Operation Friendship game.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
And Breslin, they had a buzzer beater last night. I know we're going to run through all the sports, but our friends over at the Michigan State basketball team, no, but there's nothing I can say about Michigan basketball. They also got the hand in.
I'll laugh at them, too.
What was that?
So I'll laugh at them, too.
Yeah, they deserve to be laughed at. Michigan State, they have a decent
It's a
team.
heartbreaker.
Yeah, that is a heartbreaker. Lost, what is it, 60-57 at the Breslin Center against Ohio State, the old Buckeyes?
Yep.
That was a tough one.
Pardon?
You might be muted, I think, possibly.
Yeah,
Try it again.
Yeah, they had 17 straight road losses coming into that game.
Ohio
State
Wow.
No way.
did. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so then
What
that
a
is
way
an
to
upset.
break
That should not have
streak.
happened.
I got a question for Matthew.
Oh, yes.
Ohio State is the second worst team in the Big Ten. Who's the worst?
Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even care what the record is. It's definitely Michigan. Are they record-wise last in the Big Ten? Yeah. I miss me some John Beilein.
Oh, my goodness.
Some Stu Douglas.
Oh, my goodness. Like, how do
Zach
we get him
Novak.
back? How do we get him back? How do we get Mr.
I'll take
John
Brent
Beilein
Petway.
back?
I'll take Tommy Amaker.
Oh, wow.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
What about
Steve
Brian
Fisher. Bring
Ellerby?
him home. What?
What about Brian Ellerby?
I'll take him.
Okay.
Brian Ellerby, bring him home. Brett Petway, bring him home.
It's gotten there. It's gotten there.
Yeah,
bad,
Booby
huh?
Gibson, come on. Come on down.
Ruby Gibson.
It's been rough. It's been rough. Michigan basketball, too. I guess we'll stay in the negative route before we talk about the teams that won.
Yeah.
Michigan basketball, Kool-Aid. They lost 84-76 versus Purdue yesterday. Moving on from that, it was just ugly. Michigan basketball, this is not their year. This is
Not
not
at
the
all.
year. Let Brian Ruth, Michigan basketball program equals Michigan State's football program. Face purple crying, face purple crying, face purple crying. I imagine there's some emojis in there, but you're right. You're right. Their next game.
Is Juwan Howard having phone sex? I missed that part. I don't think they're doing that. They're not quite the same.
Not quite the same.
I'm just asking questions. That's all, because I don't know.
Talk dirty to me.
So there's no Juwan Howard coming?
Shout out to IT Hibbs. Welcome to the Woodward crew. Becoming a member today. Oh, man, we're off to an arousing start. Yep, an arousing start.
Big pause.
Oh,
5 minutes into the
man.
show.
I see what you did there. Fast forward. Let's go.
Steve Rouse says Uncle T fresh off another weekend of pimping.
Big pimping over there.
Yeah, I pimp every week. I was pimping downtown.
Pimping all over the world.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it, man. I love it.
Cool. Like what the Pistons do this weekend? They played the Magic. They also had a heartbreaker.
A heartbreaker, man. A heartbreaker. You're talking about effectively a buzzer beater. It was about 0.8 seconds left on the clock. And not just that, you know, Paolo Banchero, it looked like he traveled. I know the NBA put out their last 2-minute pool report or whatever on it. He traveled. I do not care what the NBA says. I do not care. The guy jumped on one leg, jumped again off that one leg, and then shot it. It went in. It is what it is. It's kind of the luck that you make as well, though. When you're a team like the Detroit Pistons, these are the types of things that work against you. And it feels like everything in the world will be against you. And what's the crazy part, which kind of made this even sink just a little bit lower, is their starters, Jalen Duren was the only person who got a free throw.
Oh, man.
The only person out of the
A free throw
starters.
attempt?
A free throw attempt. You know, Cade Cunningham, 56 points in the last 2 games, 61 minutes. Goose egg as it relates to free throw attempts. They did have opportunity. They passed the ball in with those 0.8 seconds and literally almost made a 3 at the buzzer
That
as
was
well.
right off the side.
The fans, though, they're the ones, regardless of what the Detroit Pistons are doing, and you want to see them win games. I don't do we see okay, hey, these young guys look like they might be able to play a little bit more defense, hustle a little bit more. That's fine and dandy, but you want to see this team win games. But the fans, I have no complaints. LCA was rocking Saturday night, man. That's a testament to who they are as Detroit sports fans. That's a testament to who they are as wanting to see this team get back to some type of relevancy, especially, you know, with their neighbors in the building, the Red Wings.
I was just
kind of
about to
holding it
say.
I
down.
got a problem with the fans.
What up, though?
You ain't got nothing else better to do on a Saturday night than go see these slugs play?
They're sickos, man. When I went to the open practice, it was cold outside, and every single door was jammed up with people going back to the street. One door on the Woodward side backed all the way back to Woodward. On the back side, backed all the way to the UWM garage. They're sickos, man. They can't help themselves.
Yeah, Terry Weezy D313 says the benefits of being downtown. It's something to do, and it's cheap.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You can't get 50-cent tickets, right?
I heard you can find them in a box of Cracker Jacks now. The Detroit Pistons.
The Detroit Pistons. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
What about the Oakland men's basketball team? I know they got whooped up a little bit this weekend, but they clinched something. They clinched to share the Horizon League title.
Yeah.
Neil Rule, the golden voice, Neil Rule, calls
The president.
Oakland men's basketball, the Grizzlies games. This weekend, despite a loss, clinched a share of the Horizon League title. They have a chance to win it outright this weekend at the Arena. What is it, Saturday at 6 o'clock versus Detroit.
And I know
It's going to be a
JB.
toughie.
Is it?
No.
And I know JB hit me up earlier late last week, actually, about, hey, maybe that's one of the ones we should get out to.
Yes.
I do. I think Wake Up Woodward, KG shaking his head. JB, are you good?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I think we might be at Oakland this
Saturday at
weekend.
6?
Hey.
Saturday at 6.
You know,
Have
Neil
all
got
y'all
the
been to
hookup, man.
Callahan?
I have.
Anybody else?
This one's
think
going to be
so.
at the Arena, but Callahan
that's
Hall.
right.
Callahan
Arena.
Hall is a special place. That's where they have the D2? That's where they have the Catholic League basketball championship. So that's where
And they always have like the regional finals there for basketball too.
I love that arena.
You should make an appearance for the regional finals.
Kool-Aid will.
Callahan. Yeah, Kool-Aid.
Bring him
Yeah.
back. Like Perry Watson. Bring him back.
Definitely
Definitely.
will, man.
Hey, all right. Well,
But that should be fun. I can't wait to get out and about again around the state of Michigan, obviously, centralized in Detroit. But as much as we can get to supporting any of these teams and realistically getting up with the fans to make sure we feature you guys, we definitely will. So I'm looking forward to this weekend.
absolutely. Mike G says in the chat, is Terry the technician, a Mac Daddy with the ladies at the Copa Pepsi porch? I'm going to go with a yes. Whatever that means, I'm going to go with a fat yes.
Yeah. Y'all, here's what y'all need to do. The Pepsi porch this summer, that's at Comerica Park.
Yeah.
I'm the mayor there.
The mayor?
I just go there, have
Mayor
a
of the
little
Pepsi
beers,
porch.
talk to people. I love it out there. I don't sit in the seats.
You just go to the Pepsi porch?
Pepsi porch, get myself a Blue Moon, which I can't afford, but it's great.
Because they're like $18 for a 12-ounce.
Right.
But you know what, man? That gets me thinking, though, because we got a streak of warm weather. The sun is out right now. We're getting into the 60s this week, guys. I'm like ecstatic about that.
60s?
What are you guys doing, man, to take advantage of this good weather and throughout the summer? Like, what are you guys doing? Chat, I need you guys as well to put in there. Because I asked Broder this off air as well. He says he has no idea what he's doing this week. You guys should let Broder know all chat what he needs to do to take advantage of this good weather all week. Something tells me that this could get off the rails, but we'll definitely read the best ones.
Oh, it's
on air.
definitely about to get off the rails.
I'm going to smoke some ribs.
Smoke some ribs.
Yeah, and if y'all treat me
Not
with
what I thought you were gonna
respect,
say,
I might
smoke.
bring you a couple bones.
Ooh.
Come on.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Let me
Look,
think about that.
Me and Kid Kool-Aid, my oldest son, we're gonna get out to some parks. We got some outdoor hooping on the schedule this week,
We
man.
go hooping, then you're going to have some ribs after.
Yeah, after.
Some baby back ribs, some
After.
Terry's
Yeah,
baby back.
if you have the ribs before you play, you're not going to be any good, man.
You have those sticky fingers.
The itis.
The what?
The
Itis.
The itis?
Yeah. You don't know what that is?
This is Professor KG time. Teach me something, KG.
Oh my God! So the itis is when you have a good thing of ribs or just any grease, any like thing that has a lot of grease, and then you go to sleep right afterwards. That's called the itis.
The itis.
Yeah,
What?
we do that every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So it's what makes you tired, or what do you mean?
You out. You out, brother.
All right. The itis, the tryptophan.
That's
Yeah.
the short form for the word as well, but that's for a whole nother day.
Wait, boys, fellas,
We gotta educate him.
you gotta educate me. Everyone's been saying I'm invited to the barbecue. Invite me. Teach me.
You know what? He's like one of those newborn birds, man. You just teach him stuff. He's like so innocent. Like, what's the itis, guys?
just peck away, pecking order. What about going off the rails today?
Oh man, yo, I see that we already got people also sending in those what we should do this week, especially you, man. Y'all, I need to chat. I'm serious. Let brother know what he should do this week to take advantage of this good weather that we got coming up, man. 60s, bro.
Get the
60s.
itis. The
But-
itis.
Man, the Red
Broder
Wings.
probably go fishing.
You gonna go fishing?
I hate fishing.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I
You
get
look
bored.
like a fisherman.
Why is that, Terry?
I know you got a big head. The fishermen
Leave that back on the
usually got
screen.
big heads.
JB, bring that one back up, bro. Sean said the itis, man. That's the
You're
Black
right.
History Month
Yes.
lesson of the day.
Yeah.
Come on, this is leap year. We get an extra
Ken-
couple of
Kenny.
days. This is how I get smarter.
Let me ask Kenny a question. On Thanksgiving, have you ever been up for the third NFL game?
No.
No, we never see that game. We see the Lions. We eat. We might see the first
the
three
first-
quarters of
yeah,
the Dallas
exactly.
game, and then
That's
we
what I'm
out.
saying, like,
Then
the
I'm
first
knocked
half.
out after that. Nodding
Halftime,
off on
be
the
having me
couch.
nodding off. Third quarter is like a dream. Fourth quarter, I do not remember. And then the last game is just like, did it even happen? Did it even happen?
Is that
Right.
why they always have Lions games at 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving? Just get it out of the way,
12:30.
get it
for
done early.
For the city.
For the city.
For the city.
For the city.
Yes, FTC.
FTC for the city.
Yes.
That's what it's about. But you know what else is for the city, man? And
Talk
it
to
kind
me.
of brings up a good question. I want to talk about this too. The Detroit Red Wings. We opened the show talking about how much excitement that they're bringing. And one of the questions that I'm seeing and one of the statements that I'm seeing fans ask, is Hockey Town back? One half of the fans, and I'm seeing the other half of the fans saying, oh, Hockey Town is definitely back. They're definitely back. The Red Wings on a 5-game winning streak. Patrick Kane has been an absolute menace. Once again, guys, that phone line, the phone lines are open. That number is 313-552-6322. We're going to get into it, man. And I know we got a couple hot topics we're going to get into throughout the show as well.
Oh, definitely. The Red Wings, they had a massive weekend. Let's take a quick break before we jump into it.
What'd I tell you?
Sorry, we had this whole plan, and now we're off the rails. That's my bad.
Damn.
Tease me.
Tease me.
Touch me, kiss me, tease me, please me.
Good morning, Woodward.
Tease the people. We're talking about what are we talking about next? Tease them.
So
Did we tell them they even won 2 games over the weekend? Anyways, set me up. We're going to Planet Fitness.
I'll tell you why something magical has happened with the Detroit Red Wings.
There we go. When we come back, Terry Foster will tell you something magical that's happening with the Detroit Red Wings. I'm so confused right now.
We'll talk in the break, okay?
I'm getting a mental workout. That's something you could also do at Planet Fitness. You can do anything at Planet Fitness. It's a judgment-free zone. Maybe it's buys for the guys. Maybe it's curls for the girls. Whatever you want, judgment-free. At Planet Fitness, they got a squeaky clean gym, too. There are always people cleaning that gym. It is spotless. Spotless. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. That's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
And you can work off your itis.
Work it off.
There you go.
Yup.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
For over 50 years, you expand and you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added the Les Stanford Buick GMC brand. They still have the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive right down Woodward. What up, though, Detroit? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It's your morning show. Definitely going ahead. Fans, chat. We need you guys to continue the streak, man. Continue the streak. Hit that like button to support the crew. Hit that like button for Terry the Legend. Hit that like button for 60-degree weather on the way. Hit the like button for the Detroit Red Wings as well, man.
You said something about a streak? Something about a streak?
Yes. This show, I love it, man. I love it. But the Detroit Red Wings have won 5 games in a row now. 5 in a row. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They took out the Flames, the Kraken, the Avalanche, which was a great game. Yours truly, our crew was in the building.
Oh, yeah.
And then over the weekend, they absolutely trounced the Blues and then the Blackhawks. And you know what's cool about this is in this winning streak here, this is a lot of teams that historically, when I was growing up looking at the Red Wings play, these were some of their toughest and fiercest rivalries, man. It's cool to see them kind of go on this stretch and absolutely handle business. It's not just kind of winning games and kind of, well, can they squeak into the playoffs via the wild card? I think something special is really, really happening here, man. They've already moved from the second wild card spot to the first one, and now they're 4 points behind from the number 3 spot in the Atlantic Division in the East.
It's bringing casual fans to just Detroit sports fans. WeezyD313 says in the chat, I was watching the Wings Saturday as a novice. That shit was so hype, but I was fooling that first period. I've been smashing that Wings money line too. Like, it's bringing out everybody to go and watch and support these Red Wings. It's having that Lions effect. But you're right, Kool-Aid. This team is special, and I think this weekend taught us just that. It was an electric Saturday night at LCA against the Blues. Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, was in the building, blowing the horn.
Which day was he in there?
Saturday.
And that's that the offense for the Red Wings went ham.
Well, they scored 3 goals in like the first 5 minutes.
Yep.
Their offense went nutty. 6-1 defeat of the Blues. And then, back-to-back, they have to head to Chicago. Not just for any game. Although Chicago's struggling this year, this is a big moment for them. And they talked about it like a playoff game. They were honoring Chris Chelios, another former Red Wing champion, at Chicago, that arena. They were retiring his number 7 jersey. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but the program before the game, the ceremony before the game was really cool, honoring Chelly. He then was calling out Patrick Kane in his speech, saying Patrick Kane is the best American-born hockey player of all time. A pretty cool nod to him. And this is all surrounding Patrick Kane, his first time returning to Chicago, first time returning to that ice since he left as a member of the Blackhawks. DeBrincat was back. It was an incredible game, too. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that game, but just all the emotions surrounding it, I don't think it could have been handled better by Chicago, their fans, everything they did to honor Kane, to honor Chelios. It was just a really cool night for Detroit Red Wings fans. It felt weird being in Chicago, but it was cool. It was special. Use that word. It was special. Also, JB, that bar right there, let's go, bro.
Woodward Sports is MVP,
Come
man.
on.
Let me shout them out before we get into this. KG in the sound booth.
Yeah.
Detroit's #1 draft pick.
You know it.
The backwall graphics, the calls, everything, man, the sounds. And then we got Woodward Sports' MVP over here, JB Smooth in the TD booth, man. He continues to keep us on the cutting edge at Woodward Sports, man.
Definitely.
Thank you for all that you guys do. I'm glad to have these guys on the show. But special, man. People continue to wonder, is Hockey Town back? And you know who actually said that, though? You know who actually said this is Hockey Town?
Tammy Chin?
Of course, our chat MVP. Shout out to Tammy.
out.
But Patrick Kane, man. Patrick Kane. And you know what? It's crazy. It's crazy. When we put this graphic up, I remember the first time we put this graphic up on socials way back in November, people said, that got to be a fake quote. Then we put it up again after last night just because Patrick Kane has been on an absolute tear. And it's like, hey, let's remind people exactly what he's been saying about this. He said, my heart and my mind always goes back to Detroit. They called it Hockey Town for a reason. And the jersey's beautiful, too. I see no lies. And Tammy Shin said, Hockey Town never left.
That's right.
Never
That's right.
left.
It was just taking a little vacation. The town was still alive. The team was struggling. The
It
new
was just a
arena,
little
new
itis.
home. But it's here now. It's alive. Terry, that's where I'm coming to you. Hockey Town is alive, was left and came
it's
back.
alive. However, I'm a stickler. I'm used to Red Wings making playoff runs. It doesn't get going to me until they make a playoff run.
Fair.
And that may not happen this year. But I will say this. It seems like every time the Red Wings make a move, something magical has to happen. For instance, we remember when Darren McCarty kicked Claude Lemieux's ass. We remember when Scotty Bowman wanted to trade Steve Yzerman, and that galvanized the fan base a little bit. I think yesterday with Patrick Kane, a guy that you weren't sure if he was going to play this year, and if he was, how effective was he going to be? He goes back to Chicago, where he made his legacy and scores the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
That's magic right there.
That's magic, man. And you know what? It seems like as the NFL now has kind of ended, those script writers, they just kind of found their way over to the NHL. And right now, they got the Red Wings looking pretty nice. I don't know how much more storybook ending that can get. This wasn't just somebody going back to their former team at the end of their career. They're not really putting together like a good season, but at least they have a good night on that night. This is Patrick Kane, who, in my opinion, this was one of those punctuation games. Like, no, I've been absolutely raking, and it's not going to stop tonight. Patrick Kane, you know what I loved? Was just how into it he was, man. Just absolutely how into he was. After he scored that goal, the way he kind of skated around the ice, the way he kind of saluted the fans and all of that, that was magical. I got to agree with Terry. I think that we're seeing something special. Not only is Hockey Town definitely back, but I think that we're seeing something special with these Red Wings, and they're going to give themselves a great chance, man, to be able to move out of the wild card spot and firmly into a playoff spot. If the Maple Leafs weren't on a 7-game win streak right now, we might be sitting here talking about them being in that spot right now.
Right.
And they got to keep the pressure on. They got to keep the heat on, man. This is exciting. This is absolutely exciting. I've attended now about 4 or 5 Red Wing games this year. Every single one of them have been fun. I've been taking my son down there the same way my mom took me down there, trying to get back into the hockey of things, trying to get back into the Red Wings. And honestly, to start the season, I didn't know that we were going to see this out of the Red Wings. You always kind of go on and you want to root on your teams, but I did not know we were going to see what we've been experiencing. And Steve Yzerman, man, you talk about bringing in DeBrincat, you talk about going out there, and I don't know what you do, what mojo you put on to have Patrick Kane be in a position where he's saying, Detroit is where my heart, my mind is at.
Yeah, wow.
When you have an opportunity to select where you're going to go, it's about what Steve Yzerman has done. Like we talk about a lot about what Brad Holmes has done for the Lions. You talk about the young players. You talk about sprinkling in the right amount of vets, and now this squad has the opportunity to go out there and do something special. And I like Alex Lyon, man. I like the goalie a lot. I like him a lot.
He was a stud on Saturday, and even James Reimer had some massive saves yesterday against the Blackhawks. There was the Connor Bedard fast break. They call it a fast break in hockey. Connor Bedard, he tried to dangle James Reimer and didn't. But Patrick Kane, we got to talk about this. And we got to talk, actually, real quick. You're mentioning Steve Yzerman. There have been, I believe it's 75 goals from players who weren't on the Red Wings last year. That's the highest number, in the NHL. 75 Red Wings have scored. They weren't on the roster last season. That's
Young
massive.
fella. It's not a fast break. It's an odd man rush.
Odd man rush. There we go. There we go.
But, Alex Lyon, Steve Yzerman had to play goalie roulette because the way he wanted to build this team was from the goal on out. And then the goalie part, he kept getting, bringing guys in. It didn't quite work out. But now Alex Lyon, man, this dude is nuts. He's from upper Minnesota, a town I never even heard of. But when teams pull upsets in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's because of the goalie.
There you go. That's where my mind was. That's what I was thinking about when I even said, like, I really like Alex Lyon. The thing we've been talking about, our show was 3 weeks and 1 day old now. Thank you, guys. Wake up, Woodward. Let's rock, man. I love this show. I love this crew. I love the chat. But we were talking about, do the Red Wings have enough to make the playoffs? Yes. Do they have enough to go on a run? And the goalie was the question that we had. And when you kind of look at what these goalies are doing, especially Alex Lyon right now, they do have the recipe, in my opinion, to be able to get hot and go on a streak. When you talk about the types of players they have, the physicality that they're starting to play with, I like it, man. I like it. Red Wings, let's go. Let's go.
The fact that they're able to win a game with offense, they won 6-1 versus the Blues, and then win a close game with James Reimer, their backup goalie, arguably their third-string goalie, they win a 3-2 in overtime. It's just massive. Shows the versatility of this team. And when you see Kane, so how it all played out for those listening on audio only, the Red Wings were down 2-1 with under 5 minutes to go, and Kane found Alex DeBrincat, who somehow snuck the ball from behind. Oh my gosh! Snuck the puck from behind the goal at the most absurd angle. Snuck it in between the goalie's pads and the goal to tie it up. It was with less than 5 minutes to go, and then in overtime, they're playing 3-on-3. Patrick Kane sneaks away for the odd man rush. Alex DeBrincat delivers it to him.
Hey guys, do we have to sit Broder down to sports school after the game, after the show or something?
Might have to.
Sports school and culture school as well. Culture school and sports. I like it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to talk about Patty Kane here. We talk about goalies all day long. This is a special night. And yes, hockey is my least knowledgeable sport. I've been studying.
You know they don't play with the ball.
Pardon?
They don't play with the ball.
I know that.
I
know that.
But street hockey, they play with the ball.
Yeah. Yep. My
All right,
son,
go ahead,
he has
guys.
he has a whole kit, man. He has the hockey ball, couple hockey sticks and everything.
Let's
Man,
call
he's
it a
having some
ball.
fun.
That's okay. He wants it to be a ball. It's a puck ball or hockey ball, whatever you want to call it.
All right.
Yeah. And it's cool though, man, to see this happening right now because throughout the years of Steve Yzerman trying to get this team at least to this point where you don't just see the promise, but you actually see them producing. There's been a lot of people who wondered, is the Yzerman plan really in effect? And Darren McCarty, shout out to D-Mac, one of the hosts of Big D Energy on this network, he continued to say, trust the Yzer plan, trust the Yzer plan. The Yzer plan is the wiser plan. And all it seemed like he was trying to do was make sure he got the right mix of young talent, the right mix of veterans now to be able to complement them. And we're no longer sitting in a position where is there always going to be, just like how with the Lions, the backup quarterback is one of the most popular positions. With the Red Wings over this kind of stretch, it seemed like their minor league system were kind of some of the players that fans wanted to see pop up here. I know when Mike Gentry was covering the team here for the network, that was one of the things he was talking about. Yzerman just seems to have his hand completely on the pulse here, and I believe that the Detroit Red Wings are positioned. Man, my question to you all is this. Are they in a position now to where you expect a little bit more out of this Red Wings team? As the Detroit Lions, when they started, people said, yo, I'll be happy if they get to the playoffs as long as they win the division. As we continue to see, yo, this team could be for real, people started to say, I just want to see them win one playoff game. As the season got on and they won that one playoff game, people said, you know what? They have the recipe to make a run. Where are you at right now with your Detroit Red Wings expectations? Is it just get into the playoffs and have a cute season? Do you believe that this team has it in them right now to be able to go out there and actually win a playoff series?
They could probably win a series. Here's the thing that scares me about the Wings. Still not a great defensive team. They still give up too many, not fast breaks, Broder, but odd man rushes. Even Colorado, people say, well, they played great defense against Colorado. They only gave up one goal. No, they didn't. Colorado got a lot of chances, and so did the Wings. So they were fortunate to only give up one goal. But I don't think you can play great defense against a team like the Avalanche. But there's still a lot of opportunity, a few more opportunities for the opposition that I want to see. But Lion has played great in goal, and there's been a little bit of puck luck on the wing side too.
Yeah, but that's what goes into this stuff. You know what I mean? When you start to get a little bit of puck luck, when you start to get a goalie that's really, what do they call it, standing on his head, those are the things that we've seen. We've been on the other end of that as Red Wings fans, especially in their heyday, seeing goalies get hot in series where the Red Wings were favored, seeing puck luck from the other team where the Red Wings were favored. Now they're in this position where I believe they've helped elevate their own expectations, and it's like with like what we talked about with the Detroit Pistons. Their luck just seems to be bad, and they're also a bad team. This Red Wings team is trending towards a very, very good team, and their luck just seems to be better. It seems like that's the way it goes when you talk about the sports gods.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
LGRW.
LGRW. Let's go Red Wings, man.
Well, you know, Detroit sort of deserves this because Detroit went through way too long, like 5 years of nobody doing anything.
Yeah.
And so then you got the Lions rolling. Now the Wings are rolling a little bit. We have good vibes about the Tigers. So this city sort of deserves that because it's a sports starved town. And when you go 5 years with nobody doing anything,
sheesh,
that's brutal.
That's brutal.
That's rough.
That's brutal. But I do believe that the Red Wings definitely have higher expectations now than they did in the beginning of the season, for sure. For sure.
Without a doubt.
Higher expectations, right?
Oh, I see what you're doing. By the way, I'm going to drop a link to a Woodward Sports tweet. Send in your mock drafts. We're going to be reviewing fan mock drafts. So send them into either this Twitter link or my email address, broder@woodwardsports.net. .com. Broder@woodwardsports.com. I'm putting it in right now. But, like you said, getting higher at Dispo Dispensary. You can visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals and experience a team that curates an exclusive, unbelievable atmosphere. They got fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. So come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. New year, new deals, same plug. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Hey, you guys, are you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch?
Oh, my God, yes.
See, thank you. Well, it is a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We got hoodies, we got tees, we got hats, we got everything to get you prepared for next season. And I think we have some new designs dropping soon as well, too. So go and check it out at woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab.
Let's go. Welcome back. What up, though, Detroit? It's Wake Up Woodward. The Red Wings already got us amped up already, man. And this is following a pretty hype season from the Detroit Lions. Wait a second. Hold on. Chat, family. I need you guys to go on ahead and hit that like button. Continue to keep the streak alive, man. You guys have been great. And we can't wait to continue to feature you all. The phone lines are open. That's 313-552-6322. And I think this is Kool-Aid Hatless segment, right?
I think so. What leads to a Kool-Aid hat, a hatless Kool-Aid segment? Kool-Aid.
Let's get this graphic up on the back wall. You might know what I mean here. Oh, Mr. Brad Holmes. And you know what? The chain got to go on too. Lions, let's go.
Power the bald head.
Power of the bald head. Hey, T. Foss. He's joining in this in the festivities as well. We got to, man. Salute my bald man in chief, right?
It just got brighter in here, all that shine.
Yeah, we got to wear makeup next time.
Just lasers shooting off your guys' heads.
Oh, man, but the salary cap, it increased to $255.4 million on Friday. Man is right, man. That's up $30.6 million from last year's cap of $224.8 million. Shout out to Broder, too, man. He does a great job at our prep, man.
Me?
Great job. Yes, you do.
Oh, thank you.
Great job, brother.
I got you, bro.
But I got to ask you, man. Look at this. Detroit Lions, the 8th most amount of cap space in the NFL at $65 million plus. What does this mean for the Detroit Lions? This is a pretty big jump.
This means good things. It means good things across the NFL. This came out Friday after our show. I think it was early afternoon, late afternoon. And this kind of caught everyone in the NFL by surprise because that salary cap jump was estimated to be between like 240, 250 million. So when they announced that it's $255 million, that's an extra $10 to $12 million that even the teams weren't planning on having. So as we talk about the Lions, as we move into this offseason free agent signing period, franchise tag period, scouting combine, the NFL draft coming up, this is when all the big decisions from Brad Holmes and Mike Disner have to be made. So now knowing that the Lions have about $65.7 million in cap room, that's 8th most in the NFL, that gives them a little bit more cash, not just to give to a free agent this year or to re-sign, but they can make decisions, budget for the future, and decide how they want to approach this? Are they going to use it all, or use the majority of it to re-sign their players? Can they? There's some implications what this might mean for Jared Goff. On the players' perspective, there's a chance they might be asking for more money, knowing that these NFL teams have them. So there's a lot of different pieces to this. It's going to be an interesting offseason for the Lions, depending on where you want this to go, Kool-Aid.
You know what? That's a really, really good point that you bring out there, man. With the salary cap jumping up, a lot of times from our perspective as fans, we talk about instantly how it can benefit our teams. But you're right. The players are sitting there, their agents are sitting there saying, great, good job, NFL, way to go. Because now it gives them an opportunity to be able to go out there and ask for a little bit more, man. Just kind of looking at the chat here, one of my favorite names here in the chat, Hoof-Hearted. the salary cap jump is huge. The Lions are suddenly a destination team. They just need 1 to 2 guys that choose to play here. And
fellas, that's not happening. No, Brad Holmes, I think, has a philosophy. You know, all the free agents we talk about, we want the Lions to sign. He's not going to sign them. He will get mid-level free agents. He's going to fill out this team because he realizes he's going to have to pay Penei Sewell. He's going to pay Jared Goff. He's looking further ahead than we do. We're looking at a guy, let's bring in a defensive tackle, costs $30 million a year. He's not thinking that way.
Dang, Terry, you just dashed in the chat's hopes, man. I was about to just say here. So Chase Amley and several of you guys in here, Mitten Maid, they said bring Josh Allen to Detroit. Mitten Maid, Josh Allen or Danielle Hunter, come on down. Danielle Hunter is definitely somebody that I want to see in the Detroit Lions uniform. But you're exactly right. The way that Brad Holmes has traditionally done business has been to be able to go out there and find value, find people that can kind of play up to. And if he does give them a contract, it's generally been like a 1-year deal to some of these free agents out there, these kind of prove-it deals out there.
Yeah, and I agree with that because most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, when you sign somebody to $25, $30 million who wasn't on your team, you end up paying him for what he did. He comes to your team, he gets injured, he gets fat, he doesn't play up to his expectations. I think Brad Holmes is thinking, let me get somebody for $8, $9 million or $7 million, somebody who's hungry, wants to prove himself. Those type of players are usually more productive for their money than the guy that is going to want to sign for $25, $30 million.
Yeah, I'm glad that the Lions are positioned to be able to go out there and make, if there's the right splash, the ability to do that. But you're exactly right, man. The philosophy that Brad Holmes has traditionally done, to me, it kind of speaks more to what they're able to do to kind of re-sign some of their own players.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think that the more realistic option that I feel like what Brad Holmes is the direction he's headed. He kind of hinted at it in his press conference to end the year that, you know, this offseason might not look exactly like you guys want it to with those big splashes. Yep. But with this extra room, it gives him flexibility. Maybe if they were going to wait to re-sign Penei Sewell next year, maybe they now have that cash, since they're flush with cash, to re-sign him next year or to give him a contract extension this year, open up some more cap space. Yeah. Maybe you take a step below that. You go, maybe you give Taylor Decker 2 more years to kind of offload his contract. He's one of the biggest cap hits on this team. Maybe this extra money means you don't have to re-sign Jared Goff this year.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, what does this mean for Jared Goff overall?
It might mean something. It might mean it's an easier chance to get a contract extension done this year if he's wanting 45 or 50 million for, 3-4 years. Or it could mean maybe he wants to wait till next year. The cap is still going up. It's going to continue to go up. If Jared Goff wants to bet on himself, he's still got that offensive line. He's still got Ben Johnson coming back. He's still got just about everything he had this year. If he wants to, a different way to help the team is not forcing a contract extension this year, betting on himself for next year because he's still under contract and getting paid well with the Lions going into 2024. Maybe he's not as pressured to get it done and he can bet on himself, look for a $60 million next year, which that's a totally different story. But the Lions will have more money moving forward. So even when you talk about the difference in the projected salary cap at $10 to $12 million, maybe that's giving a Lee McNeil an extension. Maybe you do some things you were planning on doing next year, a year early, because you have some extra cash. Take care of your guys.
Exactly. That's where I was going to go. What this cap space kind of increase says to me, especially when you have a GM like Brad Holmes, is that now they have the opportunity to go out there because he's not missing much in the draft. That means that these guys are gonna come up with big paydays in the future. The extensions. This is an opportunity now for them to go out there comfortably, continue to draft, and know we can keep our guys here. I don't want to see this team be one of those teams that has a whole lot of change over year after year after year, especially when you have the chemistry that's building up between this team, both on offense and on defense, the continuity, the comfort that they have with each other. These are things that I believe the cap space going up allows Brad Holmes to be able to kind of go in and say, you know what, we don't have to worry about this. Because you're right, in that press conference when he said, hey, I'm going to temper a little bit of what you guys may expect in free agency, the one thing we know he never has to temper is what he's going to do in the draft. And knowing that he can go out there and find several starters a year, and that these guys can turn into Pro Bowlers and All-Proers while they're still on their rookie deals, yeah, I'm kind of happy that the cap space is going up because I don't want to lose those guys or have to think, you know what, if we give Jared Goff this deal, what does it mean for these other players? If we go out here and want to make a splash, what does it mean for the homegrown talent that has proven themselves worthy of a contract extension in Detroit? You got people who they don't have a connection to what the Lions used to be. And we heard them state that this year, including Jared Goff. They say, we are here to build our own destiny. Those are the types of guys that I want to be able to kind of lock up in Detroit for a long time. Not just because of what they say, but also what they're doing on the field. Brad Holmes has gone out there and drafted stars. Those are the guys that you want to lock up for as long as you can.
Yeah, and I'd like to give a little piece of advice to our little people out there.
Yes, sir.
Stop worrying about how much money Jared Goff is going to get paid. Yeah. He's going to get paid, but the cap is going to keep going up. And so you're going to be able to observe it. I got an email from a guy that said, do you think the Lions could sign Jared Goff for upwards of $37.5 million? I said, no, he'll walk. Then they're going to offer him. I kept thinking he's going to get like $47.5 million. That might be low. He might get 50. He won't get 52 or 54 if he signs now. But I think he'll get between $47.5 and $50 million a year. That's just quarterbacks.
Yeah, and thank you for putting this up on the screen. Actually, I was just about to ask you, Broder. I was going to ask. I honestly, the room, Eduardo O'Neal, one of our regulars, man.
Like the itis.
Super Bowl or bust Kool-Aid. Super Bowl or bust Kool-Aid. We need a pass rush. I want you guys' thoughts on this because we know what Brad Holmes is traditionally going to do. Shout out to my ball brother in chief over there, man. We know what he traditionally does. But when that Super Bowl window is open, do you need to strike while the iron is hot? Do you go out there and you bring in a guy like a Daniil Hunter?
It's tough. This is emotion. Yeah, I want to hear from KG.
Yeah, KG's over there ready. He's amped up.
Hey, man. Nah, and y'all not wrong about Brad Holmes' strategy. But with this money coming in like this, I feel like, of course, they're going to take care of their own guys, but you absolutely have to go get a name still. And you can do both. I don't want people in this mindset that, oh, if we pay our own guys, we can't go get a higher tier name. They just got gifted around $15-16 million. That's a free player, essentially.
Sounds like Snead money.
Yeah, exactly. They just got gifted a free player, maybe two. So I feel like, yes, you take care of your own guys, but you also still need to go make a move to push the envelope to help move this defense forward. You were in the NFC Championship game a half away from going to the Super Bowl.
20 minutes away.
Listen, we don't know when these opportunities are going to come. Yes, the Lions are on a good trajectory, but anything can happen any given year. So I feel like the time is now to make a significant move on the defense. I'm not saying spend all the money, but I don't see why you can't go get a Daniil Hunter or a Leonard Williams, one of these higher tier pass rushers. Like, the market is too much talent on the market, and now you have been gifted this money from the league. I think you need to go do something, man. It's absolutely Super Bowl or bust now.
So you think, like, when the Rams made that trade for Matthew Stafford and they knew this is Super Bowl or bust, they pushed in all of the chips.
Exactly.
And it did work out for them. But Brad Holmes has also shown the ability to get a little bit more out of the players he's brought in. But I do side with you. We've been kind of talking about the different free agents we would like to see them go after, and we all know what a guy like Daniil Hunter could add to this Lions rush. You know, like, Super Bowl or bust. Do you believe that Brad Holmes to some degree needs to push in the chips on a splash, on a big time player?
I don't think he has to. I'd like him to. I'd like him to go get one of those guys, especially on defense. Yeah. But I just don't. I don't think it's gonna happen. This might change with this salary cap increase. It might mean he does go get one big name.
Like, what are you waiting for?
True. it depends how far in advance they're playing. Like they're planning their cap. They're everything with their homegrown talent, and we're including the Laportas and the Gibbs and the Branches. Like, I guarantee you he's thinking 5, 6, 7 years down the line. Yeah. How can I make sure that this Lions team isn't one and done? It doesn't make it to the NFC Championship game and then never makes it back. Saying that, this is an opportunity that kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. So you gotta use it to your advantage in some way. Maybe to Brad Holmes, that means bringing back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Maybe that means giving Jonah Jackson a deal that you wouldn't have given him before. To be determined. To be determined. But what it does, you like you said, about 15, 16 million. L'Jarius Sneed's going to be about 16 to 18 million.
Yeah, and you still have a 2-year runway in which you really don't have to worry about big contracts coming up.
True.
Jared Goff, he's still going to play the last year of his deal, regardless if they, give him a new deal or not, or an extension. He's still going to play on the $37 million that he's owed. So you really have a 2-year window here where you can make significant moves without having to worry about, okay, I got to pay this guy. Yes, you want to kind of get it done in a timely fashion, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't see what you're waiting for, especially with this. I mean, $15 million, that's not nothing to sneeze at.
And one strategy you could do with this cash opening up in the short term, normally when they're given, especially from a quarterback standpoint or a big time tackle, you're backloading the contract. So you're giving them a big signing bonus and then you're spreading it out over time, and it gets the big cap hit comes at the end, near the end of the contract. What they could do with one of those guys is front load the contract. They got the cash available now, so if you do that with a guy like Jared Goff, maybe in 2-3 years he's not a big cap hit, and he's a massively important trade piece. Because that's the one thing holding people back from going and holding other teams back from going and getting a starting quarterback is they're expensive and they cost a lot, whether it's salary wise or that cap hit, especially in a trade. So this is where Mike Disner, COO, this is why it's so important that he didn't go to Washington. They brought him back to Detroit. This is where he's an expert. He's creative. He can figure all of this out. I sure can't. This is where he and Brad Holmes are going to be cooked.
I tell you what, man, I love talking to stuff with you guys. I feel like through these conversations and being able to talk it out, being able to have kind of like a meeting of the minds about Brad Holmes, about the Lions, about the Super Bowl window, from a standpoint of not just our fandom, but a standpoint of what actually makes sense, being able to include all of the different comments and the trends that we know. I think it does. It breeds some good conversation, but with the cap space going up, I need the chat to definitely tell us who you would, if they were to make at least one big splash, who do you believe that money should be spent on? I know we're going to talk about somebody here in a little bit that could potentially be one of those targets, man.
It's one of my favorites.
One of your favorites?
Tease this.
And I do.
Wait.
I do. KG. I need to know as well from you. I need to know as well from you. And maybe, you know what? Tell us in the next segment.
I got you.
Tell us in the next segment who you believe that money should be spent on.
I got you.
Definitely. But first, man, gotta tell you guys about Guardian Alarm.
Tell them.
Hey, it's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. It's technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that's 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Co. has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Get your knees.
What up, though? Detroit, welcome back. It's Wake Up Woodward. We've had a great show, man. The chat has been on fire. Continue to hit that like button to support the crew and to prove to the rest of the network, man, that you guys are the best chat. The phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. And I know we do have a call on the line that we're going to get to, but first, KG, who would you spend this money on, man, if you had to make one big splash?
One big splash, that is kind of tough. I've been big on Leonard Williams, but I mean, I don't see why you can't go for a Josh Allen, a Brian Burns, players of that nature.
Talk dirty to me.
Yeah, I know.
Keep going.
Even like a DJ Reader or somebody, because just because they have this money, that doesn't mean that they have to go break the bank. They can still be economical. Brad Holmes can still utilize his plan and get a cost-effective player and still have some money to work elsewhere. So I'm a big believer in, okay, you don't have to go after the Justin Matabuke's. You don't have to necessarily go after the Chris Joneses. Would that be nice? Yeah. But I think if you stick to your plan, you have to make a significant move like a Daniil Hunter or somebody of a higher tier defensive player is really needed on this defensive line. So I would definitely go defensive line, but there's a lot of options out here, man. The market is definitely full.
Definitely.
The block is hot.
The block is hot.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, culture day. But hey, you said we got somebody on the phone lines, man. Who wants to join the Wake Up Woodward crew?
We got my man Oren on the phone.
Oren.
Oren. What's up, Oren?
Hey, what up, though?
Yo, peace. What up, though, fellas?
Hey,
how you doing?
Welcome.
I'm good. Thanks for the show, guys. I appreciate it. You know, I've been a lifetime Detroit fan. Grew up in Southeast Michigan, but I spent the last 25 years in Chicago. So I'm kind of starved when it comes to getting my day-to-day input on Detroit sports. So I appreciate it.
Love that. We appreciate you for tuning in and supporting us. It means a lot, man.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to touch real quick on last night, man, and just how kind of sweet it is because, us coming back and spoiling the Blackhawks night in a way. I got love for Chelios, obviously, but it's kind of beautiful to see us kind of ascending and Chicago sports kind of going in the dumpster a little bit right now. So, I mean, I know the Blackhawks got a bright future with Bedard and everything, but that was beautiful last night.
No, you're right. You're right, Oren. And it's part of the rivalry and part of the classic rivalry that is the Red Wings and the Blackhawks. And it stretches across some of the other teams, too, being in the Eastern Conference, being in the AL Central. We get to play Chicago teams in just about every sport in the division. But this is one of those historic rivalries. And to go down there, now the Red Wings are on the rise. We think the Chicago Blackhawks, although despite having a bad year, they're going to be on the rise with picks like Connor Bedard. There's also a little bit of anger with the NHL draft having Chicago get that number 1 overall pick when they should have been
I remember.
In the middle of the draft. So it was great. I am impressed, Oren, and let me know what you think about it on that rivalry topic. How the Chicago Blackhawks fans handled everything that happened last night. To me, it was incredible to see them not only stand and give him the ovation, give Patrick Kane the ovation in the middle of the first period when they did the tribute, but then after he scored the game-winning goal. It wasn't like 60 seconds before this crushing defeat. These fans are on their feet cheering for him as if he's still one of their own. What'd that mean to you?
That was actually pretty classy, man. I mean,
Right.
I've been to plenty of games, man, and I have a lot of shit I could talk about Chicago fans, but That was classy enough. I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by that. So, you know, maybe with a little bit of, you know, getting kicked in the teeth comes some humility. So.
Absolutely. Oren, well, thank you so much for the call. We really appreciate that. Call back anytime. 25 years in Chicago. We'd love your perspective. Anytime the Tigers play the White Sox or Cubs, Red Wings play the Blackhawks, Pistons play the Bulls, and you know the Lions play the Bears twice a year. We need your inside perspective, my guy.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. And everybody, once again, the phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. And chat, continue to smash that like button. Share the stream. Help your boys out, man. And we definitely appreciate you guys spending your morning with us. But we talked about Brad Holmes and that cap. You guys see it's still hatless segment for Kool-Aid because we're still talking about the mastermind that is
I was
Mr.
having a bad hair day, so I had to wear the hat today. I tried.
Mr. Brad Holmes. But we were talking about, is there a player out there that's worth making a splash for that can definitely put the Detroit Lions not just in this kind of, hey, they're going to definitely be solid playoff contenders, but they're going to be solid Super Bowl contenders. And one of those players, Josh Allen from the Jaguars.
The quarterback?
No.
Oh, no. We're good with Jared Goff. Just that comment alone will get me ripped with Josh Allen versus Jared Goff.
Now look,
not the combo we're having.
Yeah, don't get him started.
Don't do that.
Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Now look, cover.
We'll have that tomorrow, actually.
Oh man, when Flannel returns, tomorrow's show is gonna be just as electric.
It's not often we can be this far in advance knowing what we're going to argue about tomorrow.
We already know.
But it's going to be a heater. Can't wait for Flannel to be back.
I can't wait. But look, man, you're our Detroit Lions.
This guy.
Our Detroit Lions credentialed beat writer and reporter. You also cover the NFL and you keep us up to date on things. And you're one of the more studied people that I know at this stuff, man.
My dog.
Josh Allen in a NFL free agent profile, man. If Brad Holmes were to make a splash on Josh Allen, man, tell me about him.
Yeah, so all throughout free agency, we're going to highlight some targets. And while I believe there's a very good chance that the Jaguars franchise tag Josh Allen here in the next week or two, he's one of these guys with this available cap space. You go and get. He's going to be expensive. He's going to be near the top of the free agent money spending this offseason. But he's one of those players that can absolutely change an entire defense. You think about putting him on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. This is a 26-year-old, 7th overall pick out of Kentucky back in 2019. He became an unrestricted free agent with the expectations that the Jaguars are going to sign him. But now with this market out there, with every NFL team have the available cap space, it's not a guarantee. He knows he can go out there and get some money. And this man, what do we need alongside Aiden Hutchinson? We need someone to get to the quarterback.
Yep.
This guy was tied for second in the entire NFL with 17.5 sacks. That's compared to Aiden Hutchinson's 11.5 sacks, which was tied for 12th. He had 90 pressures on the season. 90. That's 5th in pressures for edge rushers. Aiden Hutchinson had 121 pressures. So there's a lot of great stats that he had for a record 2023 year. But when you think about having him on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, having two animals who can win one-on-one battles, who do you match? Who do you game plan against if you're an opposing offense? He's a guy who's going to cost about, Spot Track estimates, $24 million a year. You know, like a 5-year, $120 million contract. So there's some decisions to be made. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to give to one player on the defense. But when you're thinking compared to Danielle Hunter, who's going to be 30 years old soon, compared to Josh Allen, who's 26, if I'm given a long-term contract over $20 million a year, I want that 26-year-old.
Yeah, definitely. When you talk about kind of the different positions that they have to shore up and on the defense, you're talking about the defensive backfield, you're talking about the defensive line, and you even talk about maybe sprinkling something in there with the linebackers. When you add a player of Josh Allen's ilk, man, you're talking about being able to help every other position group on that defense. It's not just adding a singular player that's going to go out there and get his. This is adding a player who you know is going to give your cornerbacks much more security as it relates to them defending in the back, because that quarterback is going to be under duress. They're going to be able to get into that backfield. And how and who do you double? Wasn't Josh Allen a part of the top sack duo as well?
Oh, with Foye Oluokun on the Jaguars? Yeah. I think so. They got to be up there.
Yeah. And, you know, so when you're talking about that, and you're already talking about Aiden Hutchinson, who I believe he's going to have a much better season ahead. than a lot of us. I don't know what people are expecting, but compared to this season, I do believe he's going to take a step forward. He's one of those guys that goes, he studies film. He's one of those guys that definitely works, and I think he's going to come back much better, improving on some technique to be able to make sure he can get home a little bit better to the quarterback. But when you're talking about pairing him with this, where he faces less doubles, less triples, less chipping, and all of that type of stuff, and if they are doing that, then a player like Josh Allen is getting home. You can't really defend that. And when you're talking about the defensive backs that we do have, even a guy like Cam Sutton, if you're talking about adding Josh Allen here, Cam Sutton is no longer Sutton Toast. TM trademark registered to Terry Foster there.
You can have
it. Collecting a royalty on that one, Uncle T?
Hey,
a royalty.
Look out for my guy, man. Look out for him. What's good, KG?
Hey, man, I would absolutely love this. How could you not, man? And the key thing, like you said, he's 26. So if you got to pay a little bit more for him, fine. You know you're going to get a lot of years out of this guy. You instantly upgrade and help Aiden Hutchinson on that defensive line. And he can also drop back in coverage. That's one part of his game that doesn't get looked at a lot. Yes, they do put him on the edge, but he can also drop back on certain pass plays and play the tight end or, the slot receiver. So, man, this would be a great move, an absolutely great move. Do I think it'll happen? I'm not necessarily sure. I don't know if Brad Holmes is willing to commit that kind of bag to a player like this, but I mean, like I said, the opportunity is there. If you want to push the envelope a little bit, you can take on a contract like this and still be able to make other moves. So.
And you're right, that versatility that he brings, he's 6'5", 255, so he's big, but he's not huge. He can play, he can run with some of the tight ends, even a running back coming out of the backfield, keep him in front. He's massive. And I have a question that might concern you guys I want to ask you in 1 minute, but with Josh Allen, or my opinion in terms of paying a defensive lineman like Josh Allen versus going and getting a L'Jarius Sneed, to me, I'd rather when you consider what they can bring to the entire defense with a Josh Allen type player, that limits that shrinks the amount of time that the cornerbacks have to cover the receivers, right? You go out and you get a top cornerback, that gives the defensive lineman more time to get to the quarterback. So if we're and these are just small differences, I'd rather get the player who makes it harder, who shrinks the amount of time that the other team has to make decisions, make it harder on them versus giving them a longer amount of time to get home. We've seen the Lions just get killed by mobile quarterbacks. We don't want to actually give them more time, which a lockdown cornerback would do, and I wouldn't say no to that. Don't get me wrong.
And it wasn't just mobile quarterbacks; it was quarterbacks that have just a little bit of the wiggle, where we're going in and you see the arm of our defenders out there, got the quarterback within grasp, and everybody just kind of sidestep. Those plays, those types of plays, absolutely killed the Detroit Lions this year. We saw quarterbacks who we were like, oh, this is about to be a safety. Oh, this is about to be a sack. And it looks surefire. And then all of a sudden, the defender just kind of bounces off the quarterback. And we're just like, what in the world was that? When you're talking about adding players that will actually complete those types of plays, the mobile quarterbacks, they're still going to, I believe, wreak a little bit of havoc for the Detroit Lions next season. But when you're talking about quarterbacks like a Brock Purdy or those quarterbacks like a Baker Mayfield that can absolutely kind of get out when containment, when the pocket breaks down, they can get to the outside edges a little bit. Those are the types of players that I do believe adding a player like a Josh Allen, and we're going to continue to say a player like, because obviously the Jaguars are probably going to do everything in their power to keep him, starting with that franchise tag. And it is highly unlikely, in my opinion, that Brad Holmes would drop the bag. But me personally, I'm sitting here like, man, if that Super Bowl window's open,
like
just go out there and take advantage of it, man.
Like Chef Talks NFL said, 2 seconds. Kentucky, Brad Holmes likes his Kentucky linebacker. Shout out Chef Talks.
If you got Brad Holmes in a room, put a couple bourbons in him where he's nice and loose and everything, put a little truth sermon or a little buckberry juice, what would you say, and he told you his biggest regret for this season, what do you think it would be?
This past season?
This past season.
That's a great question. I would say, I don't know. It wouldn't be a kicker.
Yeah, not investing more in the pass rush.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, he tried to fix the secondary. When you think about it, it just so happened that 2 of your key pieces got hurt. I think his biggest regret is not putting more into this pass rush.
Yeah, when he had the opportunity during the season to add someone to the pass rush, I think that's his biggest regret.
Yeah,
he may not admit it. If you get him in the press conference, oh no, we believe in our guys and blah blah. But put a little bourbon in him. I think that's what he'd say.
You know, and the chat is agreeing too, man. Eduardo O'Neal not fixing the pass rush. Big Show picks not signing at the free agency deadline. Paul Thomas, shout out to Paul Thomas. KG spot on. That's it. It's the pass rush. It's the pass rush. And
is it though?
I kind of get it, because when you look at some of the people that they did bring in, it was players along the defensive line, like a Bruce Irvin. I forget who they signed after
Tyson
him.
Alualu.
Tyson Alualu. It was kind of those types of players, and it kind of, Brad Holmes trying to get value out of a player without necessarily having to drop the bag. I kind of agree with that.
Do you think, if we're talking about regret, yes, the pass rush was an issue all season, as were the cornerback, the secondary, but the pass rush wasn't what allowed the 49ers to come back in the second half. Like, that wasn't the nail in the coffin for the Lions. There were a lot of different things that happened that caused them to lose that game, but without the elite pass rush, they still got there and had a chance to get to the Super Bowl.
Young man, Brock Purdy was still able to rush for 40 yards, mostly in the second half. And the 40 yards doesn't sound like much, but when it came, it was very impactful.
And it wasn't even really designed runs. It's almost as if somebody told them, you do have the running lanes there. You look at the way their defensive line is playing. When you kind of get in this situation, you're free to kind of take off. It's like, if teams know that about the Detroit Lions and it's starting at our defensive line or our pass rushers being kind of the issue, they're going to continue to scheme that. It seemed like when the Detroit Lions defense looked their worst, obviously number one on that power ranking is going to be an actual mobile quarterback. But number two on that is a quarterback who was aware that they could get to the outside when the containment breaks down and get out there, when the pocket breaks down and get out.
Facts.
Yeah. Goes back to the pressures argument. If you're not getting home, then what is it all for? Not saying it's a useless stat, but you have to get home, especially in the playoffs, man. And I saw Steve Wiles in the chat saying, even if you get Josh Allen, regardless, like if you got a Kendall Vildor out there, you're still going to get torched. But like you said, if you improve this pass rush, you're instantly going to make your secondary better. The quicker you get to a quarterback, the quicker you can end the play. So, and it just think about how much better a Kendall Vildor would look with a better pass rush. The only times he really got cooked this year is when he was guarding for more than 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Then, of course, and if he's in a one-on-one, of course he's going to get torched, So, but no, I agree with you guys, man. You got to fix this pass rush, man.
What about this? Are you worried at all with Josh Allen in particular? This was a contract year. He had his best year heading into a contract year. KG talks about this a lot.
The contract year bump?
Yeah. He had decent years leading up. He had, I think, 7 sacks in 2022, maybe 6.5 in 2021. This was by far and away his best year. I don't know much in depth about who he is as a person. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff. So I don't know what type of player or person he is. But does that worry you, despite being 26?
I believe that Super Bowl aspirations, they change something. I think that they add a little bit more juice to the mixture here. When you're talking about coming to a Detroit Lions team where you recognize I have an opportunity to put my name in the annals of the NFL history books, man, forever, to be known as a champion, to be known as somebody who's come in here and been a part of the complete turnaround of the Detroit Lions, I do believe that as competitors, that gives you a little bit more. If you're talking about the old Detroit Lions, if you're talking about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, before this regime, I would be concerned about these players doing what they had to do, getting an absolute sellout bag from the Detroit Lions because they're just looking to stack some talent, and then coming here and saying there's no expectation, I can kind of loaf. But when you're talking about the room that they do have, and the guys on both sides of the offense and the defense, the leaders that they have in that room mixed with the expectations, I'm a little less worried if the Detroit Lions go out there and they get one of those kind of contract year bump free agent signings. Yeah. I'm a little less worried.
KG, I know this is something you're passionate about.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily worried about it. He's been trending in the right direction as long as he's been in the league. He's still a young player, but to me, if you can do it with different, regimes or different coaching changes, then, that's the mark of a good player. And he's been able to do that with some coaching turnover in Jacksonville over the last few years. So he's steadily gotten better. I'm not sure if he's dealt with a lot of injuries during his time, but I'm not afraid to take a chance on a player like this, especially one that's been trending in the right direction year after year after year. So I would definitely be game for it.
And there's another thing to look at. Brad Holmes has said everybody can't play for the Detroit Lions.
True.
So maybe he's already done. I don't know if he can yet. But he's probably already reached out to his agent. Maybe he's talked to him on the slide to see where he's coming from. And plus the other thing, even if you're a little bit of a lard ass, if you go into that new Lions culture, that's going to put a little pep in your step.
Big facts.
Yep.
It's different now than it used to be.
Without a doubt. And it's going to make, especially with the scouting combine coming up, we got to take a different look at how we're as fans and as media evaluating these players. Because regardless of what we see out in the drills, in the 40 time, and the bench press, we all know now what the most important thing is to the Detroit Lions, to Brad Holmes and staff. It's the interviews. It's behind the scenes. It's the stuff that no one gets to see until the Detroit Lions social media team gets to put that out in their awesome Inside the Den segments. It's great.
And that's probably one reason Jalen Carter wasn't drafted by this team. Now, Dan Campbell said something very interesting. He didn't want to throw him under the bus. He said he had talked to one of his teammates. He got a lot of information on him. And then he was asked, well, what was that? And he says, we'll just leave it at that. He wouldn't talk about it. But to me, he saw something in Jalen Carter he felt wasn't going to fit here. So they went in a different direction. So maybe they'll do the same with Josh Allen. Maybe they'll interview the man and say, hey, he's a fit here, or maybe he's not a fit, and then he'll just go by the wayside. So as Brad Holmes said, everybody can't play here, and I think that's going to play out.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. And Charles McClain in the chat, he says the new D-line coach, Terrell Williams? Yeah. He says he has ties to the Titans, and the Titans have a few free agent D-linemen and edge guys who are free agents.
Identical Autry.
Maybe the Detroit Lions, not only are they kind of adding him to be able to help with their own defensive line issues, but if he also helps with being able to kind of open up these ties to other free agents out there, maybe be able to help them get a deal the Brad Holmes type of way, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, he gets a lot of credit for the development of Jeffrey Simmons. So we know I believe they're going to be looking for a Jeffrey Simmons type defensive tackle in the draft. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe that is the type of guy they go after. Chris Jones, and that's $30+ million a year. He also might get franchise tag. I do think they're addressing, even if they pay for it in free agency, they're addressing both defensive tackle, defensive edge, outside linebacker-ish, and cornerback in the draft.
But as it relates to Brad Holmes, I agree with you there, man. When you're talking about this year's draft, and the way that he looks at these things is not necessarily about the numbers and the measurables, as you said. It's about the guys and the identity that they fit, man. And if they ultimately resonate with the culture of Detroit, and I think that you're going to be one of the people that's best suited to tell us about these players, especially with the combine.
Especially the big boys who they're going to be working out this week. See there? Yup, big boys.
And hold on, not just big boys, but the chat that was just up there on the screen said something about hungry as well.
It was Xavier D. Are you able to throw that back up? Or,
yeah, I got you. Here.
He said something. There we go. We need free agents who are hungry, not thirsty.
Big fact.
I know where they can go if they're hungry.
You could go both. They got sweet tea at Big Boy too.
Hey,
but you know what's best
elite.
about Big Boy? It's the winter time. There's comfort foods, and Big Boy does it better than everyone. They got the veal parmigiana and the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. If you're hungry for breakfast, want to get there early, the stuffed potato pancakes are back. They got the classic, the lumberjack, and the Santa Fe Garde. Also, new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. If you got a sweet tooth, the gingerbread shake for dessert will do the trick. So stop by your local Big Boy today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Football season is over, but the scouting combine is here. However, Jack Labrador, they're here 24/7, 365 days a year. You can learn how to play now on your phone at jacklabrador.gg. We're going to start playing it throughout the show later this week to decide, have segment decisions made with this new version of Rock, Paper, Scissors, which was retired. Jack Labrador, they got 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. So remember, once you go Jack, you never go back. Go to jacklabrador.gg now.
Hey, what up, though, Detroit? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Wood.
Wake up!
Word. The cap goes back on. We're outside of our capless Kool-Aid segment.
No cap.
Yeah.
Oh, cap.
No cap. You can't. Culture Day.
Culture Day, man.
Culture Day. But shout out to Brad Holmes. We already know he's going to do work in the draft and in free agency. But with the draft, the NFL draft, we have the NFL scouting combine on the way. And we can't look at this thing the way that we generally would have in the past. Brad Holmes has shown us that. He's proven that when you're talking about this NFL draft, you have to kind of look at the things that he's kind of putting out through 3 seasons. We kind of know the types of players that he's looking for, the types of identities, the way that these guys carry themselves on and off the field, man. The NFL scouting combine.
Yeah, so this week, it actually all kicks off today. A lot of the GMs, a lot of the coaches, even some of the players are down there getting started with their interviews. They got press conferences, media relations, but the players, they don't actually start the drills, the workouts, getting all the measurements until later in this week. They usually are up on a podium, giving media availability time the day before they go and perform out on the field. On Thursday, it's Thursday, the defensive linemen and the linebackers, that's when they go through the drills. On Friday, you got the DBs and the tight ends, the defensive backs and the tight ends. Then on Saturday, we got QBs, wide receivers, and running backs. That's arguably the most exciting drills out there. And then it all ends on Sunday afternoon with the offensive linemen. But there are things that, and like you prefaced there, Kool-Aid, things that now we know the Detroit Lions are going to be looking at, or at least keeping more of an eye on than we might have thought in years past. Yes, the numbers, the measurements, all the things they do out on the field are massively important. But this front office, Brad Holmes and staff, they're looking at these players in a completely different way. They're looking at the players out there, not just that perform in the measurements, not just to have a good 40 time or bench press the most. It's how they look out on the field as football players. Can they make that athleticism look seamless out on the field? This is exactly what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. He didn't blow everyone away with his 40 time, but they got to see what he looks like in these drills, running routes, how he takes his practice time, his training seriously. All of that comes alive in the drills. You can just see when we watch and we look, and we might actually be having a couple watch parties this weekend. We watch them and watch how competitive the different players are in these drills. And it might seem crazy since they're going against themselves, but there are some players you'll see take it a little more calm. They're having a good time there. They're out there to just not go through the motions, but go through the drills. But then there are others who know this is the time where they're trying to raise their draft stock in this NFL draft. You got all 32 NFL teams there. All eyes are on them.
You know what you said, man? That absolutely rung true in my ears as you kind of broke down this outlook for the combine. It's competitive. And all of these draft picks that he's been bringing in, they have been all-out competitors. There's not a lot of people who's going to outcompete an Amon-Ra St. Brown,
right?
Regardless of the measurables. When he was drafted here, who believed that's about to be our number 1 wide receiver? He didn't fit a lot of the metrics and the measurements. Even his style of game today, finding himself as our top target, but he's still not the way that we would think of when we thought about Calvin Johnson. You know, the big body, the taller receiver, the down the field, catching over 3 players and everything. Amon-Ra St. Brown, these are guys, Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, Panay Sewell, I can just continue to name them, irregardless of their varying talent levels. I've recognized that these are guys who are not going to be outworked from a competitive standpoint. The way that they practice, the way that these guys have continued to just kind of improve. You know, obviously the rookies during the season even, because obviously it's their first season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we've gotten 2-3 seasons in a row to see this guy get better and better and better. But throughout the season, Jahmyr Gibbs, who at the beginning of this year, we heard what the kind of talk was about him. Was he even the right pick? Maybe we should have went and got this guy. Even if you're going to get a running back, maybe Bijan Robinson was the better back. But we've seen him throughout the season get better. Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, we saw him throughout the season get better. You know, I can't wait to see the new crop of competitors that Brad Holmes brings in. And I know you said we have a caller on the line, KG?
Yeah, we do. This is Terrell from FL, I believe, but he's in Tennessee today. So what's up, Terrell?
What's going on? No, this is Charles McClain. I'm in Tennessee. Sorry. No, you're fine. I'm on a recruiting trip, so I'm in the Smoky Mountains today. But I love your all show. But Broder, I'm going to send you a mock draft. I put this in the chat, okay? I was one that traded Hendon Hooker, our 29 this year, and the first-round pick next year to the Denver Broncos for Patrick Surtain.
Okay. You said Hendon Hooker, number 29, and a first-rounder next year for Patrick Surtain?
Yes, sir.
That might be too much.
Wow, I mean, Patrick Surtain, he's one of those players I would dream of having on this Lions team. So if you could get that done.
But I was still able to get I got a DN in the second round. I got 2 offensive linemen, and then I got a kicker.
Yes.
So, you know.
All right, can I up the ante for you? How about this? Let's show some balls.
Do what?
Would you trade J-Mo a number 1 for Patrick Surtain?
Yes, I would.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, okay, guys. Okay. Listen, guys, okay? I look at things, I mean, I coach at an NAIA university in Orlando, Florida, okay? I'm a defensive analyst, okay? I look at things from a coach's perspective, okay? You know, so some of my drafts that I may send in, I'm looking at it as a coach, okay? I think the Lions are just one lockdown cornerback and one defensive end away from being the best team in football.
Okay, I hear you, but you do what too many Lion or Detroit fans do. You're willing to trade people who are not playing and then throw in a draft pick for an all-star. You got to give up somebody who's playing. You got to give up somebody who could be an all-star next year. So I think if you want to try to bring in Patrick Surtain, you're going to have to give up J-Mo and a number 1 pick and see what Denver says. I see you guys switching your faces up, but you gotta give up something to get something.
I'm not doing it. I'm clenching my face. I'm not doing it, but you're right.
Exactly right. You're exactly right, Terry Foster. I mean, you know, I may change it to J-Mo, but you have to look, okay? A wide receiver is a lot easier to replace than a backup quarterback, okay? I mean, you can go out here and get a wide receiver. Look, what they do, get St. Brown in the 3rd round. Okay, you can get a corner or a wide receiver in the 5th or 6th round that could replace J-Mo.
That's assuming J-Mo can be replaced.
Yeah.
And I know it's easy. I don't want to say easy. You can think that now because he hasn't had the production in these first 2 years that everyone expected. But I promise you, the ceiling on this kid is as high as anybody. Arguably anybody in the entire NFL. His athleticism is off the charts. There's not another receiver like J-Mo. Yes, it might not work.
Who would make that deal, yes or no?
I would not.
You would not?
0% chance.
I would,
Zero.
I would
Zero.
consider it. I would definitely consider it because, like he said, Denver, I don't think they want to trade for an unknown QB and Hendon Hooker, even though they do need a QB. I mean, I would definitely consider it as long as I'm only giving up a first round pick in J-Mo, then yeah, I would definitely look at it. I'm not sure if I would do it, but I'd be open to it, absolutely.
And you know what, man? The chat is they're scrunching up their face as well. Mr. Terry Foster, man. Denver Bland, WTF. Steve Wiles, no way in hells. Nope. Shift God, that's insane. Randy Smalley, that's way too much. Like the chat is like, nah. I forgot where it was, but somebody even said that. Oh, here we go. Steve Wiles. Patrick Surtain was torched by us, the Lions. So I think that you definitely have to consider those types of things, especially with a J-Mo who, me personally, I don't believe that I'm doing it. But when you're talking about a player who, at least last season, didn't really contribute to in the ways that we thought he would have for a full season, then yeah, you're sitting here and talking about how do we move this team forward and improve this team without gutting or losing somebody very, very vital and important. But in terms of what I do believe Jamison Williams can be, long term, especially if he and Jared Goff, like we've said, lock them away in California this offseason, get the chemistry, build up, because his skill set, I believe, can really, really help to take this offense put this offense over the top. When you're talking about that downfield threat, when you're talking about moving these linebackers and these DBs back just a little bit, because you got to think about who he is. When you talk about the running game, I'm going to steal a page out of your book, man. Let J-Mo fly. I do. I agree with that, man. Let him roll. I got personally high hopes for Jamison Williams this season coming up. I do agree with KG. It's something that, you know, if they stated that, if that was like the deal on the table, you got to kind of look at it. But, man, that would be a tough deal for me to actually go and say, yeah, let's push
JB, would you do it?
Oh, no. I'm not doing that deal. I can't. I think I still have a little bit more faith in J-Mo, especially because you haven't seen Hendon Hooker just yet. If he's going to be the soon-to-be face of this franchise once Jared Goff is done, I need to keep him around. I like him personally, so I'm not doing this deal at all.
So you're not trading J-Mo or Hendon Hooker?
Nope. Not doing either one.
Hey. All right. Broder?
Those are, to be clear, those are probably two of the best draft pieces for the Lions. I don't know which one is higher up on the list. J-Mo could probably raise his trade value with a couple good games to start the season, to start the 2024 season. But who knows? That guy up north, and I know it was up on the screen. I got to call it out, though. Don't forget J-Mo and Hooker and 2 first-round rookie contracts are much cheaper than paying a guy that's about to enter his prime. Huge contract. Patrick Surtain would require a contract extension, way more than L'Jarius Sneed will be asking for.
Ooh.
How about that?
That makes a difference. That definitely makes a difference, man. We talked about L'Jarius Sneed being one of those guys that we would not mind seeing in the Detroit Lions uniform. If you can do that without giving up any assets and paying less money, then it kind of makes this thing really easy.
There's also some good cornerbacks in the draft, and I think they need to sign a veteran also, but go after the draft. There's guys, whether it's first-round draft picks if you want to move up, or if a Kool-Aid McKinstry or someone falls to you, or even in the middle rounds, there's a lot of really good cornerbacks. It's now, do you trust Deshae Townsend, your new quarterbacks coach, your new DB coach? They got rid of Dre Bly for some reason. The development of the secondary just wasn't there. If they trust that more, maybe they go and they target a stud cornerback in this draft. In addition to a veteran.
And Eduardo O'Neill said people giving up on J-Mo too early. His type is what this offense needs to beat the elite teams. I giving up on. I like what J-Mo brings to the table. I believe that he's going to have a big step forward. We talked about it a lot as well, KG. Production, targets. Those are the things that are going to be intrinsically linked, in my opinion, as we see J-Mo take this next step forward. And as he continues to prove that he can be trusted by Jared Goff, I do believe we're going to see something much, much better out of J-Mo. But Brian Ruth, man, he's yelling at somebody. I don't know who, but it's all caps. Ain't nobody trading J-Mo or Hooker.
Thank you, Brian Ruth. Thank you, Brian Ruth.
I feel it. I'm not mad at it, and I'm not by any means giving up on J-Mo. I personally want to keep J-Mo, but I think it would have to be on the table. Listen, y'all, in order to get something, you got to give up something too. And you know, it's not like Surtain is just like a middle-of-the-road corner. He's a top 1 or 2 corner in this league. You are essentially solidifying a position if you go out in the trade market and go get him. So, you know, like I said, it would have to be on the table. Now, would I do it? I don't know, because, like you said, the rookie contract does come into play. It's a cheaper, deal to hang on to that and your draft pick. So I don't know, man, but I think it should be considered if you're a GM of the Lions. It should definitely be considered.
Yeah, Randy Smalley poses a good question. Maybe we talk about tomorrow. Will they be better if they stay the course? Like, they're continuing to get better. These young guys, we talk about contract extensions, like these are veterans entering their prime. There are rookies entering their prime. These are 23, 24-year-old Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown, 22 22-year-old Aiden Hutchinson. Like, this team is just Jared Goff. He's getting better. He's 29.
Yep.
Like, the
True,
ceiling
who's
of
that
this
second
team.
edge rusher?
Pardon?
Who's going to be that second edge rusher?
That is
you
the
still
question.
need that.
That 100%. 100%. That's the question. That's where Brett Holmes has all these decisions. You got the NFL draft in, about 2 months, but we got the scouting combine now. Free agency is starting to open up. Like, he's got to figure out how he attacks this offseason. Do you pay a defensive? It's a complicated situation, but the fact that they got these young guys building this foundation around Penei Sewell, Aiden Amon-Ra, you got to feel good about the direction that this team's headed. They're going to be back in contention. Yeah. They're not going away.
No, because that's a good thing. That's a good segment that we definitely need to talk about, because I don't think that we're just seeing the same Lions team come back next year. I believe that you'll see the same jersey names on the back of the jerseys, but we talked about the expectations that these players are playing for, the pain that they have right now, the fury that they have right now, the disappointment of letting it slip away right now, and working out all offseason with that on your shoulders as well. This is going to be a better team next year just with the players alone. Mm-hmm. It's the type of players that Brad Holmes goes after. Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't just talking when he was like, look, I know everybody who was drafted, all the wide receivers drafted before me. I literally go out there and I catch more footballs than this individual as it relates to my practice from the jugs machine.
202.
202. You know, these are the types of guys that you got on this squad. Penei Sewell, who was absolutely, we thought he was going to be good. Who thought he was going to be the best lineman in the entire NFL good by this time in his career? You know what I'm saying? Like Aiden Hutchinson hit the ground running. These are the types of players that they are. And when you talk about going into this, even this draft, I know that he's going to do some things in free agency, but just the draft alone, I'm confident, whether the players he drafts starts or not, that they're going to be starter level players on this squad. I believe that the Detroit Lions depth, just coming away from the draft alone, is going to be one that we're looking at next year, and we're saying, yo, Brad Holmes is working wizardry right now, and we're going to be really glad that the cap is going up so that they can keep these guys together for as long as this Super Bowl window is going to be open for them. Man, the Detroit Lions are in a really, really good position. Just to kind of give away the segment a little bit later on this week, but I believe in terms of, is this team primed to get better, even just with the players they already have on the roster? I really do. I believe in them.
Yeah, I can't wait to dissect and speculate through all these mock drafts we're about to do.
News,
what direction is Brad Holmes going to go?
Hey, whatever direction he goes, and I know it's going to be good. Hey, listen, guys, those phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. And chat, as always, man, it looks like it's booming in here today, man. You guys have been epic, a big part of this show. Continue to hit that like button, share the stream, post it on socials, man. Put it in the chat. Let's take this show to the moon. Let's take it to the moon. It's the best morning show in Detroit, man, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
You get that coverage all over the whole morning.
Yes, sir.
Coverage. You got to make sure you're insured.
And see what you did there, man. I got some good news and some bad news for you guys. The bad news is assurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. Surprise. We all knew that, though. But the good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help. We might not have known that. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit swissins.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What up, dog? Detroit, welcome back.
Hello.
It's Wake Up Woodward. The sun is shining. It's been a great start to the day as well. We hope that we have been a big part and a good part of your morning so far. I know that this crew here already, man, they got me fired up almost as much as the Detroit Red Wings have as well. Shout out to KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, man. Thank you for what you do here, brother.
For sure.
Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP as well, JB Smooth
Jake
in the
Bizzle.
TD booth. We got the legend, Mr. Terry Foster in the building. Mr. Matthew Broder over here, and it's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid. And chat, give yourselves a round of applause too. We already smashed through 100 likes. Continue to smash that like button. Continue to share the stream. And the phone lines are still open, 313-552-6322. But I see here on the show sheet, man, it's about that time.
It's about that time.
It's about that time. I think you guys already know what time it is, right? Should I? All right, let me get
I don't know.
Let me get my rock and let me get my Buffer family voice on. It's time for the most electrifying segment in sports entertainment. If you smell what JB Smooth is cooking, it's what's trending with JB Smooth, man. Let's rock.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What up?
I didn't even notice that it was like 9:40. I
Yeah, it
completely
zoomed
lost
by.
track of time
Yeah.
over here doing stuff with the socials. But let's get into this. I know you guys mentioned earlier that our beloved offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, was at the Red Wings game blowing the horn. And I actually have the video for you guys of him being there.
Oh, Ben Johnson.
That's when he put his offensive mojo on the Red Wings.
He definitely helped him out. Ben Johnson at LCA blowing the horn before the Red Wings game.
He looks like a
Man,
robot.
that is so cool.
Bro.
What do you guys think about that?
That's awesome. That's energy embodied. I just said that in terms of Detroit sports sounds, that horn, man, the Red Wings horn, that's epic.
And the fact that it just paired perfectly with an offensive outburst at the beginning of the game. It was 3 goals in the first 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Impressive. It was like he
Kicked
was
off by Patrick Kane.
He was drawing up those plays, or he was hanging with Lalone before the game, saying, "Hey, this is what you got to do." We know Ben scripts some nice opening drives.
Hey.
Hey.
And then the mojo, the Red Wings called it too.
Let's go.
Let's go.
LGRW.
Let's go.
Let's go Red Wings, baby.
Hashtag LGRW.
Broder, I know it's Culture Day, and I know we were trying to get you hip to some itis and whatnot, but are you guys hungry? You guys hungry for
I'm
some,
always hungry, dude.
Some cheesa?
Cheez-Its?
No, cheesa.
Cheesa?
Cheesa, yeah. KFC has officially launched cheesa.
Oh, wow.
Fried chicken and pizza mashup.
Why is KFC trying to kill black people?
This is itis for real, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of bad.
They're trying to kill Italians too, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is also the same company that had the 2 chicken patties as a bun. So I mean, this is very on brand for KFC. The worst fast food chicken you could get, in my opinion. So,
hey,
is anybody eating this? I just gotta ask. Are you gonna try it?
According to the chat, man, they're like, Chuck Brewer, what the hell? Ryan's reaction, nobody asked for that. That guy up north looks good, just a fan. He got the puke emojis, man. I don't think people are gonna eat that one.
No, man, I just want the chicken breast original. I'm good with that.
Right?
Yeah, I don't.
A little coleslaw on the biscuit.
It loses its crispiness when you put the cheese and all this stuff on top.
Yeah, KFC shouldn't have anything on it. just the chicken.
Get the chicken.
Just the chicken.
Or order a pizza and get chicken separate, and then you can have them both at the same time.
Exactly.
See,
Why are we combining these
there.
things?
You're thinking there. KG, man, this Detroit's #1 draft pick right there.
I see why.
JB,
It's
why are
the
they
intangibles.
combining these things?
Why are we combining everything? Like, it's no convenience at all. We just need pizza and chicken separately. We don't need them both combined.
Not at all. Especially not that way.
It's unreal. But yesterday was a big day, too, because it was announced that UFC 306
Oh,
will be in the Sphere in Las Vegas.
In the Sphere?
Yes. Wow. Which is going to be, I think, is going to be unique and very amazing. But I don't think the Sphere is doing as well as people thought it was in Vegas. So I don't know. The residencies there. I don't think it's bringing in that much money. What do you guys think? Would you watch UFC fight in the Sphere?
Absolutely. First of all, there's so many arenas there. Like MGM's got something, Caesars has got something. Then they built arena for the football team, the basketball team. Maybe there's just too much going on in Vegas.
It looks like a spaceship, like Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. It looks like it's in space.
Yeah. I mean, it's epic. When I went down there for NBA Summer League, that Sphere it's larger than life, man. It's immersive. You can see it pretty much from anywhere. It's something that I definitely want to experience as it relates to going in and taking in some type of event at the Sphere.
Does it spin around really fast and you get magnetic to the back little pad? Remember at the fair?
I don't think it actually moves.
I was afraid of that ride, man.
It just spins.
The first time I saw it, man, it was like people just throwing up all over the place. I'm like, not interested.
I don't think
I'm going to the Sphere next month.
You
said you are?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh wow! What you doing?
I don't know. I'm just going to Vegas and I'm going to check it out.
You're going to check it out?
It doesn't move, by the way.
There don't have to be anything going on in it. I'm just going to go.
Yeah. No, next time I go, because I'm going to go down for NBA Summer League. And chat, tell my crew to roll with me this year. We got to tear up Vegas as a crew.
What if we hosted Wake Up Woodward from Vegas?
We have to.
Make it happen.
We have to. We have to. No, we got to make that happen. And when we do it, we got to figure out what events are going down over there as well. We got Wake Up Woodward, boots on the ground at the Sphere. Red Wings games, Pistons games, and at the Sphere as well.
We everywhere.
I thought your boring asses was going to go see Wayne Newton or something like that.
Is he still doing shows?
Yeah, he's still doing them.
Jesus, man.
In a wheelchair, but he's doing them.
Oh my gosh.
I go to the Usher residency. For
the Usher residency? Don't take your girl.
Yeah, definitely not taking my girl.
girl.
So, yeah, we good. But I definitely would enjoy that show, though. Watch him take somebody else's girl. That'd be entertaining. So.
Yeah,
You guys all got girls.
Broder's single. So.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
No, my biggest show in Vegas, I had White Castles with Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, wow.
I went to there's a White Castle down there. He came in there, rolled up, got a bunch of cheeseburgers, and ate some, and gave them to his crew, and he was gone.
That's what's up.
Hey, Just a Fan said the rookie has to pay. KG has to pay for the Vegas trip.
Oh,
Facts. There you go. I'm with that.
I love y'all, but oh, no.
Oh my goodness, man! You got anything else, or is that
You know what? I'll play this video for you guys. It happened last week, and I know we didn't get to it, but Cowboys defensive tackle, former U of M football star Mozzie Smith, he missed making payments on his storage unit.
That's a big surprise.
They auctioned off everything in the unit.
I paid $1,880
Check out some of the stuff
for
that
the
was in
storage
here.
locker. I'm guessing because most people saw this giant gun safe in the front. But what I saw was this cleat in the back, and it's a Michigan Jordan cleat.
Damn. Wow.
These are player-exclusive cleats. They sell for between $600 and $700.
You know there's some rats in there somewhere.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg for this unit.
Nasty.
All of the shoes in here are essentially player-exclusive Michigan Wolverine Jordan.
They're going to make that money back.
Player-exclusive, just regular shoes, training shoes. It's just insane.
He actually had Legos in here, too. I thought that was interesting.
3 or 4 boxes filled with Mega Block Halo Legos. This is a Louis Vuitton toiletry bag that sells for like $1,000
bag.
Here's
more
another
Legos.
Lego set. This is a Michigan playbook. Sealed Super Smash Bros. Game. Some game-worn Jordan 13 cleats. The player did get drafted in the first round of 2023. There will be a part 2 and 3 to this because part 2 are the crazy shoes that I haven't even shown you yet. And part 3 will be some of the clothes because the clothes are high-end as well.
Of course.
The last will be us finally opening the safe because I have to figure out how to get into that thing. Talk
Yeah,
about
I don't even know what was in the safe, but would
That's
you guys
wild.
pay for former college athletes' storage unit?
Absolutely, depending on
After
the player.
seeing that, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do they
man.
know who owns it when it goes up for auction? It's just
No.
look at this stuff, see
They-
what's
they
in
might
it.
have
You
some
can't even
information, but not all.
You can't even look in the locker all the way. Shout out Storage Wars, because I used to watch Storage Wars a lot.
I still watch that today
I
too.
know, right? Yeah.
Is that why
I
they
just
said
thought
they
about-
see the gun case, so people thought there's got to be something
Yeah,
valuable in there?
exactly. Yeah. So yeah,
goodness.
he paid the price, and he's gonna make his money back. Best believe that.
He will. He might be also firing his manager for not making those payments.
Right.
Unless he takes on all the responsibility himself. Come on, Mozzie.
That's pretty crazy.
At
man.
least that playbook. At least Harbaugh's not at Michigan anymore, where that playbook actually means something.
I'm sure they still use some of those plays.
But I hope there's not like a note like, talk to Connor Stallions after this if this happens. I don't think there will be.
man.
Shout out. Maybe
Man,
there's
we
some
hope
details
not,
in
man.
there.
Hey,
There
They
won't
need to
be.
release
Touch
the
the Michigan
playbook to
helmet
make
for good
things
luck.
equal for
Facts.
college football.
Pardon?
They need to release the playbook to make things equal for everybody else in college football.
Sheesh. Hey, brother, man, you know what? That mojo, you got to touch the Michigan helmet. We don't need nothing. Nothing bad coming from that playbook at all, man. At all. But we got mailbag on the way as well. We got mailbag on the way. So definitely, you guys, you got to get your questions ready. Anything that you heard throughout the show, anything that's just on your mind. If you guys have also thought about what Broder should do to take advantage of this good weather, like me, I'm going to be out this week with my boy. We're going to be hooping. You guys see the jump shot. It's crispy. We're going to be hooping today. We're going to find a couple parks. But Broder said he doesn't know what he's doing. The legend over there said, Terry Foster said he's going to be grilling this week. So definitely get that
I'm
in the
smoking.
chat as well.
I'm smoking.
Smoking. My
Smoking.
bad.
I might do some ribs.
What?
I might do a couple slabs of ribs, smoking them. I don't grill that stuff, baby.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
I like slabs of baseball cards and basketball cards.
Hey, yeah,
We're all
before we
going
close-
streaking. What?
Before we close, you gotta definitely at the end of the show tell people what you got up there.
Oh,
The cards
man.
today are
It's
fire. So definitely, man, get your mailbag questions ready. Hey, JB, who do we got to hear from, bro?
We got to hear from Lady James.
Lady James. Hey, in chat, continue to smash that like button. But come to Lady James Haircuts for men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expense paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady James Haircuts for men. It's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. It's where I go to take my line to get the best as well. Same prices and other conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. It's family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local, curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
And after you get a pet, go to Feldman Chevrolet and get a car.
Ooh.
You know, because since 1996, they have been offering a fast, convenient, reliable car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. You got 18 locations, so there's got to be a location in your backyard. Just visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, that is Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Welcome back. What up, dog? Detroit is Wake Up Woodward. This has been a great show. Danny G just said it as well. Yo, the chat did good with the like button today. We definitely got to continue to shout you guys out. Thank you for the support, man. It does a whole lot for us here at the network, especially on this Wake Up Woodward crew. And we're going to continue to try and bring the energy. We're going to try and continue. We're not trying. We're going to continue to bring the energy. We're going to continue to bring the coverage. We're going to continue to bring the info and the conversation, as well as including you all in it as well. Thank you, chat family. If you haven't already, hit that like button, share the stream, and you know what? We'll still leave the phone lines open, 313-552-6322 if you want to call in and give us your mailbag. So definitely get those mailbag questions in as well. And I see we have some stuff coming in, but we got a mock draft that did come in as well.
Oh yeah, Big Show Picks. Let's react to this real quick before we get to the mailbag questions. Big Show Picks in the chat earlier sent us over his mock draft. Let's take a look at it. We got, and this is nicely done. No trades, although actually it looks like there would have been some trades done to get that 86 and 98 pick. But let's check it out. So at 31, Big Show Picks is drafting cornerback Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. Quick reaction, KG. It's a good pick.
I mean, it's not my favorite pick, but it's not a bad pick per se. Only thing I don't like about him is that he's struggles in man coverage. Sometimes he's more of a zone corner, but you know, not a bad pick though.
Okay, yeah, not a little bit undersized. What is it, 6 foot?
Yeah,
185, 190. So I like the idea of attacking a cornerback with that first pick. Then they go back to back with some Michigan guys. Defensive tackle Chris Jenkins, cornerback Mikey Sanders. That's at 62 and 73. At 86, going back to the North Carolina receiving corps with Devontae Walker. He's about 6'2", almost 200 pounds. A little bigger body, so. It seems to me it's very similar to Antoine Green, so we'll see about that. I don't know a ton about Christian Jones, the offensive tackle out of Texas, but I hate to say this, I really like Michael Hall Jr. out of Ohio State. He showed up at the Senior Bowl, just a real twitchy big defensive tackle who played really well. I like the concept of this draft. Yeah. Georgia players, Michigan State players, defenders. The vibes on this one, Mr. Big Show Picks, are quality.
And the positions. I like the positional advantage that he tried to tackle here. You got 2 corners, you got 2 D tackles. 2 D tackles and a O lineman and a wide receiver. So that's not bad.
I love it. I love it. Chat, throw in among your grades, among your mailbag questions, throw in your grades. What would you grade Big Show's Picks mock draft? We're going to devote more time to this in future days. Yep. But Big Show Picks, shout out to you. Thanks for sending that in.
And definitely, like Broder said, we're going to continue to devote time to this. You guys continue to get your mock drafts in. We want to be able to feature you all out there. You guys do your job. We're trying to do our job, and we want to be able to feature you guys with the platform that we have here at Wake Up Woodward. It's our 5 to 6 man crew. Shout out to Flannel as well. He will be back this week on the show, Tuesday through Thursday. And we're going to continue to try and bridge this thing between Woodward and the platform we're able to offer to the fans and to the chat. But what are you seeing in there, mailbag? Anything interesting?
I'm looking for some. I was just going over that mock draft. Where are we here? Do you guys see anything?
I'm looking.
IT Hips, mailbag. Free agency has just opened up. The first move the Lions make is what? Shout out Ryan's reaction. A lot of haters out there these days.
Free agent.
Is anybody alive out there? Out there.
All right, KG. Yeah. I need your football knower mind on this one, bro. What's the first move that you think in terms of free agency? And obviously, the draft is going to influence what they do, what they're looking at, especially with this combine coming up. But what do you think, man?
I won't pick a player, but position group is interior defensive tackle. They have to make a move in that interior and put somebody next to Aleem McNeil. Because the whole year we were kind of just, playing, who's ever musical chairs essentially at the D tackle position once Aleem went down. So you definitely want to fill that spot. I think that's the biggest area of need currently. So
love that. Noah M. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Mailbag. The social team posted about Cade's lack of free throws. Do y'all think that's a result of his slower, less athletic play style?
No, I don't. And I was the one who put that together, man. I'm going to continue to try and make sure we use our platform to get our guys the justice that they deserve. Cade Cunningham He is top 5, I believe, in drives. NBA.com kind of has all the stats there. He shoots about 50%, 49% on 8.3 attempts driving to the lane. When you look at his game, especially the couple up and unders a game that he gets, there's contact. When you even look at that last shot that he made to tie things up against the Magic,
That's money.
There was contact. He's just not getting a call. And it's not just him. Jaden Ivey plays very fast and very aggressive. Asar Thompson, very, very aggressive to the basket. None of their starters, other than Jalen Duren, got free throw attempts, and they continue to find themselves on the other side, on lopsided as it relates to the free throws. Obviously, in the NBA, winning cures all, and so you want to see this team. I think Simone Fontecchio, he stated it. He said, we have to earn that. We haven't earned that yet. I want them to just call the game the way they call the game, but we all know what the NBA is, and I do believe that Simone Fontecchio is 100% right, the latest acquisition.
Now, I know this is going to be hard for you to admit, but the Pistons are irrelevant.
They are.
It doesn't matter what happens to the Pistons, and so they're not going to get calls. You can sit here and scream and show this is unfair and everything, but in the grand scheme of things, whether the Pistons wins or lose means nothing to the NBA now.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're not going to get those calls.
Yeah, and Cade, he had some comments to say. Shout out to Mike Curtis and James Edwards. I want to make sure we properly attribute them and credit them, of The Athletic and of the Detroit News. They talked to Cade Cunningham in that locker room, and it's something that's really starting to bother him. And the reason why I actually kind of wanted to bother him is this. I see him play with fire, but you want to talk about a player scoring. You want to talk about a player who can potentially, we want to see these guys reach their next level as young players. Cade Cunningham is starting to feel a little nasty streak about this, and I think you do need a little bit of that to play here in Detroit, because it doesn't matter if they're good or not. Detroit versus everybody, it rings true for a reason. This team could be good, and they're still going to face some aspects of this type of stuff. So I want to see him go out there and force the issue even more. Force the issue. We did the episode last week during our Woodward Pistons segment saying that Cade is him during the part of the year where he took some more time off due to injury. And then what did he prove after that? He came out and he's absolutely hooping. I want to see him push the issue. Force it. Force the issue. If you're that guy, force the issue, man. Yeah.
You know what I'd like to see him do?
What up, though?
Slap the shit out of somebody. I mean, really.
Force the issue.
Is it now we've had the bad boy Pistons, the going to work Pistons. We need another identity here.
The identity, that's the key thing,
so
man. They got to
get pissed off at somebody.
Yeah, and you know, it was funny, his comments, or he was talking about like what do I need to do? He was like, is the other refs mad at me? Do I need to just complain less and just go out there and prove it? And that's where he ultimately went. He said, I'm going out there to prove it. I'm going to take my respect. That's where they at now. And you know what? You're exactly right, man. When the bad boys, when you kind of look at the stuff from the past, when they turned the corner, when the going to work Pistons turned the corner, it was because they actually went out there and they took the respect that they thought that they were deserved. Right. They didn't ask for it. They didn't wonder for it. They went out there and they took it. I agree with that. You got one vote from me on Cade needing to slap somebody.
All right, bam.
I'm not mad at it. Real quick, Stephen Baffy mailbag. If the Lions draft a dominant interior O-line player to pair with Panay on the right side in the first round, would you be mad?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. That 29 pick's a good spot for an interior offensive lineman. If it's one if it's a Jackson Powers Johnson.
I'd be mad.
Why?
Because there's so many of them. You can get that guy in the third, fourth round. Don't do it with 29.
I can't argue with that point, but if there's that dude that you believe in, the next Frank Ragnow, the next, I don't want to say the next Penei Sewell. I don't think there is the next Penei Sewell for a while, but a guy like a Jackson Powers Johnson or even a Graham Barton out of Duke who can play all 5 offensive lineman positions, there's value to that, even if it's not sexy.
Deep draft.
What was that?
Deep draft.
Deep draft.
Fair.
It's deep.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, at that position.
True. It's also deep at cornerback and defensive lineman, so I think we're...
I'm not even gonna say what I thought he said, man.
No.
Yeah, I thought he
Wait,
said
what'd he
something
say?
completely different.
I said deep. What did you think I said?
I'm not saying.
Deep draft.
It's the way you spaced it out that gave us concern. But yeah, my only caveat is that if you're going to go O-lineman, you have to get the best O-lineman in the first round. So if you're going to go O-line, move up and get Jackson Powers Johnson. To me, he's the premier offensive lineman in this draft, and he does feel an area of need. I would do that. You move up for him.
Terry,
now bring in a son of a bitch on defense. Will you guys stop this crap? Bring an offensive lineman at 29. No,
I agree.
No.
Hey, look, I think the chat heard what we heard too. I see a bunch of pauses in the chat.
I still don't know what you guys heard.
Now, what did you hear? I want to hear.
Someone man up and say it on air in front of the entire world. What did he
man.
say?
I can
You
take
don't
it.
say it. Don't say it.
Good looking out, brother.
Hey, Stick, what did he say?
I didn't catch it either.
I know JB knows.
What did you think I said? Tell us.
Hey, chat, y'all tell us what you think he said.
Things that are deep.
For 500.
That sound like draft? Deep draft. Deep draft.
What the hell did you say, Terry?
I said deep draft.
That's all he said.
I don't know what sounds
But
like
they
that.
thought I said something else. I want to know what it
In the
was.
chat, somebody put in the chat what they heard.
Yeah,
Right.
somebody, because we're not saying this.
Vag.
Fast forward, bro.
What? I'll say it.
It
That's
can't
not
be-
a
it can't
super
be
inter-
deep.
What?
It can't be deep.
Yeah.
Deep badge?
Depending on the
Deep
person, but it
badge?
can't be deep.
I did not say deep vag, but they can be deep.
This is what happens when y'all get overtime on Wake Up Woodward, man.
I put balls deep, call me Miguel Cabrera.
Minnie Mouse had deep. Nah, let's go. Let's get off this. Let's get off this.
Anyway.
Oh,
Let's call this one a day.
Yo, this was awesome, man. This was awesome. I love the relationship that we're developing with our chat family. You guys continue to be elite. Continue to be elite, man. We appreciate you all. Definitely, if you haven't on your way out, definitely hit that like button, share the stream, support your boys. We're gonna continue
Deep
to
shaft.
try and put it.
Oh my shaft. That's the word.
Oh, okay.
That's
Sorry,
Matt,
go ahead.
That's Matt Brown over there, aka Fast Forward, our
AKA
Detroit
Deep Shaft.
Lions.
I'm impossible. No, wait, you don't put those in the same sentence. We'll separate the two.
Oh my God.
Deep shaft.
Bro, we got
Can you
KG
dig
over here, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. We got the legend, Mr. Terry Foster himself in the building. We have, and you know what, Stick, don't run. But we got JB, Woodward Sports MVP, and we got Mr. Stick as well himself. We appreciate everything that you do for us, brother. Definitely do. And I'm your boy, Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid. Hey, I got the ball today.
Yeah, throw it my way.
There we
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank
That's
you
a little
guys
more
as
manly.
always.
Yeah.
Do you like that one? That one looks better? Is that better
I was just
than the
thinking y'all
baseball
switched it up.
toss?
You can add Stick. You can't look manly throwing a baseball less than 20 yards, 20 feet.
Oh, yeah.
5 feet, you look, it's not manly.
Y'all see that? That's butter right there. I can't
Oh, yeah,
wait till you
baseball
start doing our
5
fan
feet gotta go
content.
like this.
Yeah, there's no way to make that look cool.
That's underhand.
Yeah.
Just to let them know what's intentional.
Yeah.
And Stick, man, he's always working behind the scenes to improve our production value. I love it. But hey, thank you, chat, man. This has been awesome. Awesome episode. What up, though, Detroit? Hope you guys have a great day. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Till next time.